politics into another conversation that is absolutely necessary and important to all of us. This might be controversial, but assuming we exist in a world with two basic genders, male and female, so at least half or close to it of the world is male. But the numbers are scary, folks. Let me read some to you. Let me tell you a little bit about this. WHO says that 264 million people in this world live with depression. And a lot of them actually, a lot of these figures are underreported. And apparently, men are significantly more than women in this category. And men seriously underreport cases of depression. Here's another one from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Men in Kenya have registered higher rates of suicide than women. Percolate on that for a second. I'll throw you another one in there. Surveys say that men are least likely to seek help for mental strain. All right? And we live in our society. We know that men are expected to be breadwinners in this economy, or rather in economies across the country and the continent that are shrinking, economies that are harder to break. Translation, it's harder to put food on the table for anybody, let alone provide for others. And at the center of all this, at the center of this storm, this perfect storm of expectation, the mental weight of that, the programming that a lot of us have gone through in terms of who is a man. In the middle of all this are our men, existing men and future men, the young men that are coming up into a world that is absolutely hostile to them. Ladies and gentlemen, in this day and age, there's people that are coming up as thought leaders for the movement to redeem the men of this world and the men of this country. You have doubtless heard of the pills, the red pill, the blue pill. The people who listen to Jordan Peterson, the people who listen to, what's the other guy's name? The guy who was arrested in Romania. Andrew Tate, the Tate brothers. We've got African masculinity. We've got Asian masculinity and all that. We've got traditionalists. We've got reverse feminists. There's so many groups. And in the clamor for attention, in the clamor for the right to shape the minds, actions, and thoughts of men, a lot of men fall between the cracks. A lot of them, as the data suggests, are falling victim to suicide, to depression, to hopelessness. So tonight we ask, not just this main fundamental question of what is ailing our men, but really, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? So thank you for joining us tonight for this particular conversation. And we have a full studio tonight, plus all of you who are watching us at home, on YouTube, on Facebook, and all the other platforms, on Twitch as well. Thank you for joining us. Would you please, 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 please participate in this conversation to rescue our men? Because what is a society without its men, right? Thank you. Now, to help us to understand this and to kind of get into the meat of the matter, I'd like to introduce a couple of folks that will be helping us to discuss this. And we have a studio audience which actually represents you. They're not just an audience, they're actually an extended panel. And gentlemen and ladies, thank you for coming. And you guys will be able to introduce yourselves when, as I throw a question to all of you. But allow me to introduce a couple of people just to get the conversation started. We have Muli Nguta, who's an entrepreneur, a founder, and author, whose focus is on identity, purpose, and personal rebuilds. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank
Karibu sana.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. We have Sean Karanja, who's an investment professional, podcast host. And if I look at his work, the focus is on financial pressure, masculinity, and all of that in corporate Kenya. Karibu sana, Sean.
Asante sana.
Say hi to the people.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Brilliant. We also have David Masharia, who's a finance director at Lukenya Getaway. And you're here to help us understand things like this provider pressure, things like leadership and the cost of ambition. Say hi to Kenyans, David.
Hello, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Supreme, supreme. And then we have Brian Nyambego, who's a personal branding trainer and author. And Brian is going to help us to understand men, image, self-esteem, and societal expectations. Brian, say hi to Kenyans.
Hello, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate it.
Karibu. And last but not least, listen, man, with a name like this, I hope you can rap. I hope you can rap. This man is called Tupac. This man is that actually your name?
Yeah.
On the ID?
I can show you my ID.
Birth certificate? Tupac. Your folks must be some cool people. Yeah?
Yeah.
Some people are
They
cool.
knew it.
They knew it. Can you rap?
I can write, but not write.
Oh, wordsmith.
It's a skill.
Wordsmith, like Tupac. Listen, some of you guys, man, you're naming your kids funny things. Just, you know, someone with coronavirus or Tieno. No. All right? I mean, listen, this is the other thing, maybe a conversation for another day. Names have power. They have power to shape who you are and how you show up in the world. Conversation for another day. I hope to invite you, Tupac, to that. Listen, let's start this conversation, but let's be really, really honest with ourselves. And I want to take just go around the room and talk to the men here. And I'll be happy to answer this myself as well. Guys, I want us to not be theoretical, I want us to be practical, okay? So here's a question. In a word or in a sentence, men of the room, what is the hardest pressure you carry today? Sir, I am looking at you and I see weight behind your gaze. The gentleman right at the back. I wish to start with you. Would someone please hand him a microphone? Good. What is your good name?
Hello.
Hi.
I am Okwayan. You've asked what's the
What's
pressure
the biggest, heaviest pressure
that
you, Ian,
Ian
you're
Mukwa.
facing today?
Yeah.
It's getting real, guys. It's getting real. One thing.
One thing. Can I say financial constraints?
Safe space. And thank you for sharing. Thank you. I mean, this is something a lot of men actually deal with. When you said financial constraints, I saw heads around the room nodding, right? Thank you. Thank you for that. Let me throw it to you. Do you have a microphone? What is the one biggest burden that you're carrying as a man?
Right now, I'd say my studies, because it's very heavy and it's hectic, but it's proving to be manageable. So yeah, that's working out great. But,
I see.
It is a heavy burden that I have to bear on my shoulders.
Okay, all right. What about you? And you forgot to tell us your name, by the way.
Sorry. My name is Nick Kimathi.
Nick, that is Ian. Nick, karibu sana. What is your name? By the way, our director is called Nick, and he was excited when you said Nick, so he's like, Nick's to the world. What is your good name, sir?
My name is John Wawiru. I'm a psychologist by profession, and my biggest challenge, expression. Just that.
What do you mean by that expression?
We live in a world where we encourage men to express themselves, but we don't create an environment that fosters positive expression. Yeah. You live in a world where you tell men it's okay to not to be okay. It's okay to reach out and ask for help. But what happens when that man reaches out and asks for help? He either becomes an attacking point, and the next time you have conflict, or he doesn't have a sufficient environment. So this person grows to learn that asking for help really is tied with negative consequences. So what is to tie him, or what is to compel him to ask for help next time?
Wow. Folks, I told you it's getting real, and you can see it. Thank you, John. What about you, sir? What is that biggest, the hardest pressure that you carry as a man today?
I am Kibor Joshua.
Hi, Joshua. Karibu.
Thank you. Expectation.
What do you mean by that?
As a young adult, I am expected by the community that by now, when you complete your school, complete your studies, you're supposed to get a job to provide. If you have maybe a girlfriend, your girlfriend expects you to provide. Your folks also expect you to provide, because maybe they see the people of your caliber who are already doing it in their field. Some who are younger than you, they're also making it, and they're showing that maybe it looks like it's easy. Then everybody is expecting that you are supposed to be doing it like other people.
Right.
Also, maybe how people are saying how social media is, and they expect that what you show in your social media spaces is what is the reality of what you need to show on the ground.
That's a big one. That's a big one, Joshua. Thank you for that. Muli, what about you?
I'd say mine is holistic stability. So you have a lot of expectations. There's a lot of things I'll piggyback off these guys said, and it reminds me of a proverb that says, "Where there's no vision, the people perish." So it's the burden of having a vision, and many men nowadays look for other things to substitute not having a vision, and that's where we get lost. So for me, it's building things in a way that I'm not just thriving financially, but my social or mental or emotional health is struggling. Or I'm very good emotionally and physically, but it's not balanced out in the right way. So I'm a big advocate of holistic growth. So you're not just thriving in one area, and in another area you can't hold any relationships.
Balance.
Yes. Balance. That's it.
Interesting. Brian, what about you?
I would say the silent struggle. That's something that most people struggle with. You know, when you're growing up, personally, I have brothers. So when I was growing up, sometimes maybe I'd fall down and then my dad would be like, "Don't cry because your brothers will cry." Maybe
Are you
when they
firstborn?
fall. Yeah, I'm a firstborn.
I see.
Now that affects me in a
Listen,
big
just
way.
hold on. All the firstborns in the house, by a show of hands, firstborns in the house, I am one. Oh, and other people as well, off camera. Listen, man, there's a special grace, there's a special burden. In the list of things we're saying, we should add being a firstborn. Please, it should be in the Constitution. There should be tax relief for firstborns, 80%. Please, proceed.
Yeah, so like the silent struggle is something that most people have. There are those struggles that you go through that you never get to share with people because you're told that vulnerability is not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be strong for other people. So I think for me, I grew up with that until I came to realize that it's not a good thing. It's good to find people to share with. But again, our society hasn't raised us to be able to, maybe like, we don't have those safe spaces where you can go and share. Because you're like, if I share, they're going to judge me. They're going to tell me to keep quiet because, you know, I think that is the type of society that we're in. And if we get to change it, the better. So yeah, I would say it's the silent struggle.
All right. Let me bring in one lady from the team. Hi, how are you? Do you have a microphone? What is your name? Let's start there.
Thank you for having me. My name is Elizabeth Kimwele.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
From your observation, the men in your life, the men who raised you, the ones who you grew up with, or studied with, or you're with right now, what do you think is one thing they're actually struggling with right now, from your observation?
I'll say the fact that they have to man up, and the society doesn't want them, like, they are raised to not to cry, not to express themselves. So expression,
John.
yeah. And the expectation of them to be the breadwinners.
Interesting. What about you? Karibu.
My name is Wazi.
Sorry?
My name is Wazi.
Wazi.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the prime issue men are battling with right now, or rather it's ailing them, is financial constraint. And that is what is associated with all other challenges, like, for example, mental emptiness, or having expectations, just have been said. The expectation, societal expectation, is probably breeded by lack of finances. You know, men are associated with provision. And when it turns out that you probably don't have that space that you can source finances, do you know there are people that they can hardly sustain a meal a day. And the moment you get a meal, you start stressing up more because what will I take next? So basically, financial constraint is the prime reason we're having a mental unwellness presently. And statistically in the world, men are more unpopular, but men are more in the world. In a ratio of 102 men, there are 100 women. That is 1.02:1. So it is important, it is imperative, as much as we are championing for rights for girls.
Right.
We must look at our men as well.
Wazi. All right. Let's hear from you, Tupac. What's the biggest thing you personally are struggling with, if you can share?
Okay, I think expectations. Yeah, I think a lot of us struggle from expectations. So your parents expect you to be this person. As a big brother, you're expected to be that person. Your company expects you to be this person. So there's a lot of expectations that dictate a man's life without him even having to choose one. And there's one popular one that we all go through here is, if you ever go back to shags, you're always asked, or when's that time to get married?
Right.
When are you moving out? Those kind of questions.
Right.
So I think it's questions like that and expectations that that burden a man. So you're expected to have your life all figured out. You're expected to be this guy or that guy or that guy, yeah.
Okay. What about you, David?
So, as Tupac has said, one, there's expectations that society have on you, but there's the expectations you have on yourself. So for me, I base them around 5 key pillars, which would be 1, relationship with God, 2, health and fitness, 3, financial and purpose, 4, romantic relationship, and then 5, friends and family. Along all those pillars, you're expected to be winning at the same time. So one might be doing really badly, or you might be winning one. So that presents one, an opportunity, but it can also be a lot of pressure. So shifting your focus to being able to celebrate the pillars where you're winning, even if you're not winning in all of them, for me is quite...
The balance that Muli was talking about.
Yeah.
What about you?
Absolutely. I think piggybacking off of a lot of what has been said here, particularly focusing on expectations, I think the primary concern or struggle that sometimes I find myself in, and a lot of my other brothers, so to speak, is how do you deal with that expectation, but also employ delayed gratification in achieving these things?
Right.
So how do you not take shortcuts in life as a man?
Right. With the pressure that Joshua was talking about.
Exactly.
Your mates are doing this.
They are.
Yeah, they are doing this. They're making it.
And you, as a man, want to do it tomorrow.
Exactly.
I'm not going to accept that until the time I am driving a car like so and so.
GLE or Forex.
I must take 4 years, 5 years. It doesn't, as a man, sometimes we want things now.
Right.
And that's our competitive spirit. And personally, I'm very competitive. So sometimes I find myself wanting the things that someone who's 20 years, 10 years older than me has. I want it next month.
Yeah. Right.
And so I think what that presents for a lot of us young men is an ethical dilemma of, will I take a shortcut to achieve some of these things? If it's financial, now you'll start scamming, or a guy is telling you, set up this thing for me. You just watch this thing and you keep quiet. You take your cut.
Right.
Or in relationships, not honoring a process and, disrespecting or taking advantage of women because for you just wanted a woman today.
Right.
You didn't care where you got her or how,
Right. Right.
So there's many elements in which men are forced or sometimes feel the pressure to take shortcuts. And I think that's a big challenge for a lot of men right now.
Now, because you raised it, it's in my notes, but you raised it. So you will be the anchor point for that particular point when we come to discuss that. But let's hear from you before we shift the conversation. Let's hear from you. What is your name, first of all?
My name is Christine.
Hi, Christine. Karibu.
Asante. So I think for the men in my life, mostly what I feel like weighs them down mostly would be financial expectations. Because I feel like mostly with the current economy, there's expectations in terms of from parents. Because I feel like the moment you're done with school, there's going to be, when we say black tax, so we have that. You're seeing someone, there's expectation to that. So I feel like moving around everything, they end up having a lot of people looking up to them. And then now when you couple that with the lack of a chance to be vulnerable, because they can't go to someone and say, I'm going through this and that, because again, it's associated to weakness. So if I say that I don't have this, they're going to think I'm weak or I'm unable to provide. So that leaves them at a dilemma, yeah. So I am bending, I am breaking, but then again, I can't express it. So it's you break until you die or something, or you break. Because I think I've lost quite a lot of people close to me, and I would say very close to, and then another tried. So I think really it's an issue that is really heavy, and I feel like the expectations and lack of vulnerability coupled together is really breaking a lot of men.
All right. So I want to throw something to all of you in the room. We're talking about men. We're talking about the burdens that we carry and so on. But fundamentally, I think the question of identity is quite big. Guys at home, who actually is a man? Who is a man? Who defines who a man is, what a man is? Joshua, from where you sit, what is a man? In fact, let's play a game, word association, all right? Joshua, give me 3 things that a man is supposed to be, according to you.
First of all, a male human being is a man.
Male human being. He's going fundamentals, he's going biological. All right? All right.
I think that's what defines truly what a man is.
All right. What else? 2 other things. 2 words that describe a man.
The provider.
The provider. What else?
The wisest person in the room.
Oof, man. Sit down, my friend. All right, let's go to somebody else. Chief, who is a man? Your name is Ian?
Ian Mukwa.
Who is a man, according to you? 3 things that define a man.
A man is someone who is able to achieve whatever the expectations are of him.
Wow.
Number 2, a man is able to dream beyond the expectations of the society. And number 3, a man is someone who can do or reason parallel to the expectations of the society, that is independent of the society.
Ian, are you drinking the same water we're drinking?
Sure.
All right, sit down again.
Chai.
Wazi, let me come to you. From what you understand, from where you've come from, the society, the surroundings, the things that have influenced you, what do you think a man is? 3 things.
Being born and bred in a patriarchal society, Africanism. Firstly, a man is a leader. Anasema, tunafanya.
Si kutenga?
Hakuna. He says we do. No defiance, no rebellion, no chance to, have a different opinion. And again, a man is a winner. If women are winning against men, then it now appears the narrative of men are being belittled. So again, patriarchal, male dominance. And a man is the opposite gender of a woman. Yeah.
Okay. Joshua, your gospel is spreading. All right, let's talk to you. Who is a man? Do you have a microphone? Yeah. Yeah, and just hold it right up and we can hear you.
I hope this is audible.
Absolutely.
Okay. So for me, first, I'd say a man is a leader, as she had said, but I'd like to take a different chain of thought from that. You had said something about identity. I think for a long time, men were attached to traditional roles, such as provider, protector, but now with the paradigm shift, women are also being empowered. So you get that with the current world, with the modern world, women can also provide for themselves. And once you have provisions, it almost attracts security as a guarantee. So a leader in this sense comes in now because it's difficult now for men to navigate the modern world where they are no longer attached to their traditional roles. You lead yourself now to identify yourself. It's upon you to get what you stand for and who you are as a person.
I think you were you index 1 in school? Sit down. But more importantly, you went beyond that. But I want to know what you think a man is, not what he's supposed to be.
Like I said, a leader, that's the first one. Number 2, a man is a role model. For me, there are people who in my life I look up to because of them just being there.
Okay.
They were just men in my life. And they've set out such good examples of how to live that life that I wouldn't want to be anything less of that.
Okay.
And in all honesty...
So a leader, a role model, and what else?
Pace setter.
Pace setter.
Yeah.
Interesting. Muli, what do you think? Who's a man? 3 things.
I'll say a man is the moment.
A moment?
A man is a moment, the moment the man demands. So I'm borrowing this philosophy from this guy called Jason O. Wilson. He wrote a book called A Man is the Moment, the moment that demands it. So whatever moment you're in as a man and whatever it demands of you, I'm piggybacking off what Ian said as well, is if you're demanded to be a provider, demanded to be someone who's a stabilizer, someone who's a rock of something or someone, that moment demands that of you and you'll be that person. So it's a very interesting philosophy, but I definitely agree with it because there's so many things that everyone here has said is the expectations of what a man is.
Expectation.
But the truth of the matter is it's good to answer to the demand of that moment for you. And that proves not just who you are as a man, but it proves the character, the mindset behind what you do. And I'm big on character as well because we have many men nowadays who don't walk the talk, you know? So it's very easy to hear people who are soothsayers and they say certain things, but they don't follow what they do.
I see. Interesting. Okay, I'll ask you something about that in a bit, but let me go around the room. Who's a man? 3 things, according to you.
A man is steady through the storm. So, as Muli mentioned, life will throw at you a ton of storms. But can you be steady? Can you manage your emotions? You know, that's one. A man is a provider, and not just financially. So, a provider of security, provider of emotional support, whatever that might be, a provider. Then finally, a man is meant to be a protector. You're built physically stronger, and you're meant to use that for a reason. But beyond that, are you able to protect those around you, be it those older, younger, whatever space you find yourself in?
Interesting. Who's a man? 3 things.
I'd say a man is a good steward. As men, we're given families, we're given communities, we're given resources. I think a man can be summed up by him being a good steward of whatever that is.
Okay.
We're given different things, but in whatever you've been given as a man, whatever it is, opportunity-wise, family-wise, etc., are you a good steward of that? I think that would sum up what I'd say a man is. A man is a good steward.
Okay. Tupac?
I think I agree with what everyone has said in the room, but I think he said it best.
Okay.
Because we've been asked a couple of times this question, and for me, I think a real man is responsible. And responsible is not just in what you're given and how you take care of what you're given. It's also now how you respond to things. So that's where the responsible part comes. So basically adding to what David and Muli has said.
All right.
Yeah.
And last but not least, what do you think a man is?
I would say a man is a leader in terms of if I would use my life or every other person who's in the room, there is that one person who's a role model to you, maybe your dad, maybe your grandpa, you know. So I would say like a man is a leader through maybe the things that they've done. You want to either do better than them or exceed the expectations.
Okay.
So a leader at first, and I would say a visionary and a dreamer. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, so the first question we asked ourselves was, what's the biggest burdens we carry as men? And the ladies in the room were able to tell us the things they think or they observe to be the biggest burdens that men carry. Next, we tried to define what a man is to each and every one of us, right? The reality is today a lot of men feel like disappointments. We've said that. It's one of the things we said. I want to take the two things that we've talked about and clash them against each other or hold them against each other. The identity of a man versus the biggest burdens or the things that are weighing this man down. And I pose a question. Is there a problem in, and no criticism to anyone, this is a conversation, no criticism. Is there a problem in how we define a man? A problem that then produces the kind of weights and burdens and stresses that this man then carries? Because as you guys were talking, you can see a connection. There's, for example, you said expectations. But a man is supposed to be the man of all seasons. The man of the moment defines the man. If you're required to be a provider or a steward, overall term, you be that, right? Is there a problem in how we are defining manhood that is then producing the weights and burdens that we carry? What do you guys think? Let me hear from, John. John the psychologist.
First of all.
That's okay, don't worry.
First of all, I'd start with, we are evolving faster than our definitions. The definitions we have of men are not evolving fast enough. A man is everything everyone said, but those were similar definitions, say, 100 years ago. But the world has changed. A man is a leader, yes, but we have a world where more leaders that are not men are coming up. A man is a provider. We have a world where there are providers that are not men. So it puts men in this, the change of circumstances puts men in this limbo, this definition. How do you lead a community that doesn't want to be led? And by a community, I mean even the smallest unit of a community, that is a family. Mm-hmm. How do you provide? How do you be that man in a space where it developed alternatives? Because if you see, most of these definitions are evolutionary in nature, yeah? Because these were definitions that were put there for the community to exist and to survive. But now, since the community developed different ways of surviving, has something changed that necessitates a change in these definitions, first of all? Secondly, you find that a good number of these men have so many merchants that you don't know who to listen to. Most people are looking back at their cultures right now. And for the longest period of time, your culture was the determining factor of who you are as a human being, as a man, and the role you played in your community. But people are turning back from their cultures, yes? So you end up finding a lot of people listening to another group of a lot of people in the name of influencing and what have you. So what ends up happening is there ends up being a set of expectations, but we don't have the space for these expectations to be met. You want to listen to someone who grew up in a different environment, a different culture, different circumstances, but you want to apply their lessons to your life. And when it doesn't work out, what happens? That is another thing. Thirdly, again, expression. We live in a world where we expect men to be different, yet the same. We expect men to play the needs and roles they have of a man, but we also expect these men to become less in a way. We expect them to be more listening, be more understanding. We expect them to be the safety nets of everything when everything.
Yeah, by all means.
Directly, you just be toxic masculinity.
Is it?
I think there's this generation specifically is struggling from that, because he's mentioned something very wise, because looking back at the past, there was no such thing as toxic masculinity. I think there were just men who were not good men, and then there were men who are bad men. But now you have a man who may be, for example, not knowing how to deal with his emotions, and so he may avoid certain things. He'll be called a deadbeat. And then you have someone who is a bit too passionate, and then he'll be called he's too sensitive. So there's no clear way of, okay, how can I just be a man? You know what I mean? So there's always someone trying to attack you. There's always, it's like you're walking on eggshells. And the truth is, as a man, you are the foundation. You are someone, you know, people don't care about how the floor feels. And that's often how it is as a man. So I love what he said, because it's true. That's now it becomes a very slippery slope for men, because how do I truly be?
And perhaps what I'm seeing is the core issue here is that there's multiple definitions out there. There's multiple expectations, but men are not being nurtured to rise up to those expectations, titles, etc. So I think there's also a systems issue here, where we're prescribing masculinity, but not nurturing it, right? So you're saying you must do you must
provide, you must protect,
who's
you must
teaching
be a good
us?
steward.
Like, who's teaching us?
Exactly.
Let's be honest. And I think a fundamental thing that I have noticed is a challenge is we don't have enough male role models who, beyond money and status, are letting down the ladder to say, you know what, nimefika huku, and
This is how I got there.
I want you to come with me. It's more like nimefika huku and it's just me, you guys be easy, you're fine, figure it out.
Why?
Why, you know...
Why is it like that?
Again, I think back to his point of where has society evolved to. If we look at Africa right now, especially, you know, we're becoming increasingly Western. And the Western philosophy of manhood, or even just humanhood, is individualistic in nature, right? And men don't lead in a vacuum. You can't lead when there's no one following you, when there's no one that you're uplifting, that you're speaking for, etc. So I think when we're in this individualistic Western sphere and influence of manhood, you can't actually be a man in that. And I think that's why when you look at where suicide is happening the most and where men are dying the most, it's actually in the West. And we're catching up because we are trying to be like that. But a man cannot be a man as an island and in solitude.
Let me throw some things here from the people that are watching us. Somebody called Kolo is saying, we as men are facing a lot in modern times as we expected to be strong but sensitive, ambitious but present, confident but humble, well off but not materialistic. Sasa hapo ndo kuna kizungumkuti. Also, we expected to be strong emotionally, vulnerable kidogo sana, but not weak. All right, that's Kolo. On YouTube, a number of shout-outs to the people in the room. Candy Mella says, shout out to Brian Nyambego. Brian, umepatia watu pesa ya campaign. She says, I believe this is a lady, because she says, he's full of wisdom. Full of wisdom. Fortunatus Ongubo says, thank you for this opportunity for young leaders to come and express themselves. We really appreciate. Christopher Purity Ligami says, wazi to wazi, woman of extreme knowledge, goodness. And right, but to the point that you were making about the society that people are growing up in, if your influences are far removed from the ecosystem where you exist, the role models that you have are rappers and athletes and actors and influencers who live in vastly different ecosystems than you. How are you expected to transfer or even import those bits of influence to your society and still succeed? Wazi. Tuweke wazi.
Shukran. Firstly, I feel like civilization has been so impactful to the modern problems faced by men, because normally they are selective on when to be a man, and because just like you said, as a man you're expected to man up, you scale up to manhood, but again you're expected to be sensitive. It is okay for a man to cry. When you look at traditionalism, men were providers and men were allowed to be polygamous. Women were expected to stay at home and look at children and everything, but civilization just is so associated with women empowerment, and women are expected to work, women are expected to provide, you know, and in many cases where provision is done by women, then submission is a problem. Submission is most probably likely to be absent.
Why?
Because this theory of provision is associated with supremacy. You know, if I am feeding you, if I'm clothing you, then how should you tell me to get to the house by 9 p.m. or by 8 p.m. yet I'm looking for finances? I'm the one who is sustaining you. You know what I'm saying? Like, ninasema unasikia, because in this case, I'm doing the most.
That sounds really toxic, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And so why would you blame somebody for resisting that and resenting that? But Wazi, let me put you on the spot for a sec. You guys remember what Wazi said? The three things. You said man should be a leader. What else did you say?
Opposite gender of a woman.
But the middle one, that was the last one. What is the middle one?
A winner.
A winner. Is that the measure that you use, or the SI unit that you use to judge or to measure any man in your ecosystem, whether your colleague, your a love interest, or your relatives or your friends? Is that the metric that you use for those men? Because that's your definition of manhood.
The question was, okay, personally, I don't think so. I'm a feminist in the sense that I don't want to bring controversial ideas here, but feminist in a way that it is okay for a man to cry and a woman can provide, you know, and it is not always for a man to win. You know, it is okay for a woman to win. Anyone can win. But now the society has pasted it in a way that it is only a man, or rather it's viewing it in a lens that men are expected to be winning or to be the head. And just like if you're a steward, then unatuambia nini jamani? You are doing it, you know, you're the top, and then sisi wengine we follow. But necessarily that is not the way we are supposed to be imposing it on men to win all the time. And that is what is breeding the expectations problem, because we may not be able to meet the expectations.
Wazi, Elizabeth, and what is your name? Christine, the three ladies in the room. I'm going to put you on the spot for a bit. Honestly, we're having an honest conversation, yeah? Several people have talked about role models. From a female point of view, Rosafi, Belea, Mungu, okay? Can you give me 3 names each of men that are making it, men that measure up to the definitions you guys gave about manhood, people that are leaders, winners, and of course the opposite gender of a man? And for you, what you said, Elizabeth, who's like, I want us to deconstruct our role models. Who are the men that you feel are doing it? Just mention names. 3 names.
Edwin Sifuna.
Who else?
Elon Musk.
Who else?
Uhuru Kenyatta. Interesting. One in politics, one in tech and entrepreneurship. Actually, 2 in politics and 1 in tech. Interesting. Hold the tea for a second. Christine, who are the 3 biggest, like, from where you sit, who are the men that are just, this is it. This is masculinity in a person. 3 men. Give me those role models.
I think I'd start with my father. He's solely the major reason.
What's his name?
Joseph Gitonga.
Hold on. Mr. Joseph Gitonga, wherever you are, 2 cold ones on Christine's bill. Congratulations. Now, 3 other men that we know.
He's actually late, so he didn't get that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wherever he's watching, I believe he's watching, and I'm sure he's very proud.
Yeah, hopefully.
Give us 3 names of people in popular culture, perhaps, that you admire. 3 men that you admire.
I think I'd start with Obama.
Obama?
Yeah.
And who else?
He really ranks high on my list. And then I'd say Uhuru.
Uhuru Kenyatta, okay.
I don't think I even have a third.
Okay. Pick one.
Steve Harvey. I know I'm going to get a few looks for that, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Elizabeth, 3 men in the world that you admire. These are men.
First of all, my dad.
What's his name?
Justus Kimwele Malombe.
Is he around?
Yeah. No, he's watching.
Mr. Malombe, wherever you are, 2 of whatever it is that you like. Tea, or what Uhuru Kenyatta called uji. Congratulations, sir. And now 3 others that we know now.
Second, Elon Musk.
Okay.
And the third one is, I would say Uhuru Kenyatta.
Uhuru Kenyatta. Give us one more.
One more. Bill Gates.
Interesting. Interesting. Are you guys taking notes?
Taking notes.
So let me get 3 other men to give me three role models each. We want to break this down. Let's start with you. You look like you have some role models. Okay. 3 men.
My father, started there.
What's his name?
Timothy Mahinda.
Okay. Now, at this rate, can we just shout out all our fathers? Mr. Timothy, wherever you are, is making you proud. Okay. Now, 3 men that we know.
Okay, let me see. Rafael Nadal.
Interesting. The tennis player.
Tennis player. Kipchoge.
Kipchoge.
And
it's okay if it's just 2. Kipchoge and Nadal.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go with that.
All right. What about you, Tupac? You better say Tupac.
That's crazy. Of course, like what he said, I think my dad's been a big role model.
What's his name?
Fred Gachiramu.
Mr. Fred Gachiramu, wherever you are, good job. 3 men you look up to.
I think definitely, I think whatever Barack Obama has achieved is crazy. Another one is Stephen Bartlett.
Yes. Diary of a CEO.
Diary of a CEO, I think is amazing. And recently, I think Trevor Noah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I watched the interview with Trevor Noah and Stephen Bartlett. I think the wisdom...
He was quite vulnerable there.
Yeah, and the wisdom shared. Yeah, I think it's 3 hours almost, but the wisdom shared is crazy.
Thank you. Joshua, 3 men. The rest of the men, the rest of the people in the room, don't worry, we're coming to you. I'm trying to bring out something. Yeah. Who are the 3 role models that you have? First, let's start with your father, because I know you're likely to say your father. What's his name?
Until his death.
What is his name?
Is late.
Oh, what is his name?
Amos Lagat.
Mr. Lagat, wherever it is you're watching us from, I know he's watching. Yes, he's late, but he's watching. He's watching. I lost my dad this year, and so this conversation is close to home.
I'm sorry for your loss.
So wherever it is Mr. Lagat is watching us from, may God rest his soul in peace. 3 men that you admire.
Sylvester Stallone.
Interesting. Rambo.
Yeah.
All right.
William Bruto.
William Bruto. All right. Tam. Don't know which number before the Tam, but Tam.
Let's not talk politics today.
No problem, sir.
Barack Obama.
Interesting. Okay. So let's, taking the poll, the mini poll that we've had, we've got leaders in industry, Musk, Gates, all right? People who also do philanthropy as well. So really wealthy. All these guys are wealthy. Hakuna mtu ana struggle. Hakuna mtu anapanda Kenya mpya. Ama iletwaje hiyo basi ingine. Hakuna mtu ana struggle hapo. We've got political leaders. We've got Uhuru Kenyatta. We've got Edwin Sifuna as the 2 maybe local examples. We've got Stephen Bartlett. We've got, who did you say?
Rafael Nadal.
Nadal and Kipchoge, athletes. Yeah, I'm starting to learn something about you. Your 2 role models are all multimillionaire, record-breaking, award-winning athletes. Interesting. And we have, it's politics, sports, entrepreneurship, industry, and of course, our fathers. So those are our standards. Those are the guys that we're looking up to.
Rich, powerful winners.
Rich, powerful winners, in a nutshell. In a nutshell. And in a nutshell, all men are expected to be rich, powerful, and winners. John, tell me about the power of role models, but also the danger in the role models that we choose.
Should I start with the danger?
Please.
You see, the problem with modeling is it sets expectations. And I said, the environment in which these people made it and the stories that these people embody are usually very personal to them. Yeah? And what happens is, if someone made it in that set of actions they took, there is no guarantee that if you take the same set of actions, you will make it. because people are different and are unique as far as personality is concerned, as far as the traits they embody, as far as who they are very different. That is the one danger that modeling has everywhere. Secondly, you find that with modeling, you want so much to become that person that you forget who you are. Yeah? You'll find yourself stretching yourself to limits you didn't know existed. But in that process, you end up losing what you already had. Yeah? You find how many people, because they want to become someone, they end up losing parts of themselves that they had already built, their physical self, their communities, anything that went around them, because they had a vision nobody understood. So it leads to a loss of community. People usually feel misunderstood. Yeah? Even these people who made it, if you look at their story, there are parts of their life where they felt really alone and they felt put aside. Especially those people who don't come from generational money, they have those parts of their life where they were at their lowest. Okay? But now the power of modeling is it provides a track. You're not the first person to walk that path. It gives you a sense of direction of who you want to be and where you want to go. Yeah? And the other good thing with modeling is it gives you a sense of comparative analysis, especially when it comes to people. If you're, say, 24 right now, you ask yourself, this person, when he was 24 years old, what did he do? What was he doing? And what am I doing that isn't aligning to this person? Yeah. Someone like Musk in his 20s, he had already created this
paper.
No.
X.com.
Yes. He had already, no, it was eBay. PayPal, thank you. He had already created PayPal. Yeah. Am I really a creator where I am from? If Musk is my point of reference. Yeah? So you find that it can be a motivating factor for me to want to be better. But at what cost? Is it enough for me to lose myself in order for me to get there? What happens if I don't get there? What will be my frame of self? Where will my esteem go? Yeah? So you find that it has implications. I've seen people who want to get there so bad that they forget where they are at the moment. And
John, on that point, and from a psychologist's perspective, would you help us to understand maybe the distinction between a proper role model, or the role models we're discussing in the room, and the guys Joshua was talking about, the guys we're compared to, the guys you went to school with, the guys who are younger than you, your cousins, your siblings sometimes, or other people in society. You say, he's doing it. Why aren't you doing it? So-and-so has a really good car. Where koni Futsubishi? You know what I mean? Like those comparisons. Talk to us about that distinction and how men, and then I want us to really now start to shift ever so slightly towards solutions. How can men navigate that? To reframe and refocus in their own minds and decide which one to pick, which one to allow to influence you.
So, first of all...
And I want you to jump in here as well, because you were starting to talk about that when you're talking about manhood and redefining it.
So, first of all, what is a proper role model is purely personal. The person you choose to identify with is purely personal. There is someone who Vibes Cartel is an idol to them. And then there is someone else who Vibes Cartel is a pillar of something that we cannot mention here. Yeah? So you find that to these two people, as far as Vibes Cartel is concerned, he's two different people. And at the end of the day, this person who looks at Vibes Cartel, this person who wants to mirror his life to Vibes Cartel, he's the only one who understands why he wants to do that. See, so modeling is personal, first of all. So I don't believe there's something as a positive model or a negative model, because what you model are traits, not the person. You want to become as successful as this person. And Where people lose it is when they want to adopt the life that this person lived. They want to become this person in essence, rather than adopting their traits. See, then another thing is, in those two, being compared to the people who lived in the same environment, went through the same challenges as you, it's coming from outside going in. Modeling comes from inside going out. You model someone because you've observed their behavior, you've observed the consequences of their actions, and it's something that pleases you, and you decide that I want to become like this person. But on this other end, people pick out the people they choose, the people they think are positive in that community and want you to mirror it to them. But as I said, it's very personal, and it's intrinsic. It must come from you. If it doesn't come from you, it won't work.
All right. What about you? Where do you come from on this matter?
First of all, I'd like us to look at it from the perspective of an idol and a role model, where he's brought in the idea of there is that aspect of the values, the traits, the goals, the achievements. Personally, that stands for the idealistic part. But now when it comes to the idols, it seems to embody now shaping your life to fit that of the person. You're going after the personality, that person. But for role model, you're going after certain principles, certain values that that person also stood for, which in one way or another played part in them getting to where they are. And in most cases, it's like a positive value, positive ideology, positive mindset. So yes, and on the same, for me, as he has said, role models are personal. And I'd like to further that in the sense that there are people that are relatively close to you. It would be difficult to imagine you having a role model who's someone you can't really get contact to, like you can't get in touch with, because how exactly are you supposed to learn the values, like get the pathway, the blueprint, the one that they used to build their house, their empire, their foundation. So I do have role models in my life, and when you ask me that question, the kind of people that came to mind were people I see to maybe daily basis, weekly basis.
And who are they?
Some of them actually happen to be, it's going to be funny, my lecturers. It's not something I stop at to think about, it just crosses my mind, because you listen to the way someone thinks and the way someone talks, you get to see, oh, this is interesting, these are the kind of values you stand for. I'd like to also get to that point one day. And I believe if I choose to take the route that you took, I might, if I'm lucky enough, because like you said, we might take the same sets of action that they took, but because of different circumstances, we might not end up where they were. That's why it's more of a personal issue, and I think it's more beneficial for you to have these people for the role models as people that are close to you, you can get in touch with, you can, like it sort of rubs off you.
All right. Okay. Just take a short break for a second, not an actual commercial break, but a break in the conversation. The people who are watching us at home, the people who would like to, contribute to this conversation, our producers are going to put the WhatsApp number at the bottom of the screen, and it comes directly here, and I'll be able to sample your feedback. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, the YouTube link has, the channel has a chat, a live chat, and I can see conversations here already. People like Fortunatus Ongubo, Purity Ligami, Priska, Sean Wangai, and Christopher, and others are all contributing right there. In fact, there's a poll right there, which is, we asked tonight on People's Court, who is a man? And 4 options emerged. There is Bora Meva trouser. A man is his wallet. A man has many wives or girlfriends, and then a man is his height, urefu, or at least I hope that's what they mean. Now, as of now, Bora Ameva trouser has 38%. 38% of people think a man bora amevaa trouser. I think it's a chromosomal thing that you're talking about, the fundamentals. A man has many wives and girlfriends. 6% of people believe that a real man has many wives or girlfriends. 56% of people believe that a man is his wallet. A man is his wallet. Interesting things. Muli, today men have followers, but not friends. Let's talk a little bit about that. Talk to me about that. And Brian, I want you to prepare something. You're an expert in branding and so on. Talk to me about appearances versus reality and this thing of faking it till you make it. You know what I mean? A lot of the people that, and I think it has a connection with the role models or the modeling thing that we're talking about, or idols, so to speak. So prepare something about that. Muli?
Yes, your question is...
Why do we have more followers, or why are we seeking more followers than friends? Why are we seeking the adulation of crowds versus the support of a tribe?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what Sean was saying, that we're in a generation where it's hyper-individualistic. So you have a lot of people pursuing their own influence, pursuing their own success, and how we've grown up in a culture of just as Africans, we're always serving each other. And so I think that's what has been lost in today's day and age, is we don't want to put our brothers by our side and grow with each other. It's let me make it, and then those who did me dirty in 3rd grade or class 2, they'll remember my name. You know, so you stunt, it's a flexing thing. And a lot of our generation, specifically Gen Z, we want to follow people who have made it, and they're flaunting their success. But we have many people who are successful and they don't show it. They're very quiet. And those are the things I think we need to be cognizant of when we're doing our role model selection. It's important to find not just someone who has followers or accolades behind him, but someone who has depth and substance, someone who's lived life, has an experience and a story to tell. I find that extremely valuable than someone who maybe has 50 million followers. And I think just looking at that is, okay, I'm interested in psychology. How can I connect with someone whose mind challenges me, and someone who's a deep thinker, existentialism and all these things? If someone who I'm curious in how to grow in financial wisdom and everything, I'll find someone maybe like David. He may not have 1 million followers, but truth be told, he has wisdom. So I think our generation is looking for the wrong things when it comes to who we want to surround ourselves with and who we want to grow with. So I think it's very much rounded back to what Sean said of, we don't have even the men who've made it wanting to raise a community and, you know, okay, I have a knowledge in this area of expertise, how can I pour it back to people who are interested in that area? And I think that's also what Tupac is doing with the men's conference coming up. I think it's an amazing opportunity for men who are interested in diverse areas of passion or whatever they want to grow in. I think it needs to happen more. I think we have more women's cohorts and women's empowerment, this and that, but for men it's very hard. Like he said, where's the spaces? So I think that's what it boils down to.
And still on that, Muli, do you think the men you speak to, do you think there's an appetite for real conversations? Do you think there's a willingness to open yourself up to people that, like you talked about competition, people that you're in competition with, people that you're being measured against by society, and maybe even secretly comparing yourself to, you know?
I think it's...
You've got a KDM, Minikona KDP. You know what I mean? Those things. We all listen, the people who listen to rap music and the braggadocio that comes with it, the comparisons, I'm better than you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear
Jinangu, Face ID, you know, those types of things.
Yeah. I think even just talking to them, there's a lot of them who are very guarded because it gets to a place where in your career, it's extremely transactional. Someone wants you because of what you can give them.
Right.
So it's very hard to have someone who's made it open up to you unless they truly trust you, that you're not there for maybe just this guy give me clout, or he being around this person and such, my own career will start to be boosted. So it's very easy for them to see through people because they understand as a man, you have to have your walls really guarded up to be able to make it to a certain level in your career, because it's a dog-eat-dog world in that area of pursuit of success. So those who truly made it, I think they're very sensitive about who they bring into their inner circle. That's one thing I've really noticed.
Really?
Yeah.
But now, and just on that, how do you navigate this reality that he's talking about? How do you navigate that and create a healthy path for yourself?
I think on the topic of picking idols and people you admire and role models, I would boil it down more to mentors. Men you'd select and be like, okay, yes, I like the way you live your life, like you were saying, and I have access to you. So one is being genuine, coming and being frank, being like, I like how you've achieved X, Y, and Z, and I'd want to do that for myself. So come and put your cards on the table, be vulnerable. And I think that also helps someone bring those guards down, because if you're trying to hide your motives, they can sniff it out. By the time they've gotten to where they've gotten, they've seen all kinds of people, so they know. So being genuine, putting your cards on the table sets you apart.
Are people, in your opinion, men that are role models or potential role models, are people real enough to share not just their successes and the path to those successes, but also their failures, their mess-ups, the decisions they made that had disastrous consequences? Are people willing to share those stories?
And I think that's the beautiful thing about a mentor-mentee relationship, because it's not just meant to be a coffee chat. It's meant to be over years. The people I've seen who've done mentorship right have had mentors for 10 years. And as you get into that method, you're not only bringing people up as you rise, but you have your mentors that you've followed through the years. So that's something that I think you then get to see them live life. You get to see them mess up, and they want to tell their stories. So the mistakes they've made, especially if they're successful, they don't mind telling some of the mistakes, because at this point, who cares, But being able to take people along your journey, allowing people to be observers of your life in more acute detail than, I guess, what society offers right now.
Interesting. I can see some people actually responding to some of the things that you guys are saying. But before I go to that, I want you to talk to us about this branding thing. Because I think somebody said, you were saying about a lot of masculine expression should be from the inside out. In fact, a good book says, as a man thinketh. Precisely. So talk to us about branding and how you can match the branding on the inside with the branding on the outside, or that they should be aligned, and aligned for good, not like Hitler, who thought murder, propagated murder. I mean, he was successful. Branding-wise, he was successful in that really small prism. But help us to understand how a good man, can match that, what is on the inside, with what is on the outside.
First of all, I would say that if I was to be asked the question of role models, I would say that I am my own role model in terms of now 5 years ahead.
Interesting.
I really want to see that guy 5 years ahead of me now. Like the day I'll be on a stage thanking people and telling them thank you for believing in me. Like that is the person that I'm chasing on a daily basis as a role model. So now to go into your question, I believe that the decisions and the choices that we make in life really determine who we become.
Okay.
So in terms of branding, I would say, just like when I mentor people, I tell them there is a difference between someone who is a celebrity and an influencer. There is someone who will put their life out there, but they will never give you the process they took to get those accolades and everything. The question is, are you willing to accept that this person who has the accolades but doesn't want to show you the process, there's something wrong with it? But there is this other guy who has all the accolades, has achieved the most, and they're willing to take you through the process. So I feel like our generation right now, we want instant gratification. You want things right now,
shortcuts.
This moment. Yeah. So the moment you're willing to sit down and start from a point of acceptance. So for all my clients, anyone, whatever age, I tell them that, hey, if you're coming for this class, you first of all have to accept that you're not good enough. Why? Just like a photographer or anybody who's in the media, if today I wanted to be a photographer, maybe I know maybe a few styles on how to take photos, and I go for that course, and the first thing that this guy is trying to show me how to take this picture, and I'm like, yeah, I know that one. I know this style. It would be very hard for them to teach me. So the first thing that any man or any person out there should do is that they should accept that, hey, I'm in this situation, and I'm willing to go to the next level. So when it comes to branding and maybe image-wise, I tell people that after you've accepted, there's a second thing that you need to understand. Your day one is your day one is your day one. There are 1,000 of someone else that there are 1,000. Why? Because in between this day one and there are 1,000, most people will be confused with competition. So you'll tend to compete with someone who's like 20, 30 years ahead of you when you're starting off on your first day. So don't be confused when you're trying to brand yourself or when it comes to image, because on social media you'll find today someone has posted a good car, but yes, you want to have such a car, but the question is, are you willing to go through the process? So choices and decisions really matter a lot on the version of you that you become on a daily basis and what you'll achieve at the end of the day. So that's all I can say about that when it comes to branding and maybe the image, because social media nowadays, it's just something else. Someone will follow you, or maybe someone will look at the type of life that you're having, and that is what they're drawn to. But when you tend to show them the process, they're like, no, that is so much. So you've taken 5 years to build the type of life that you have right now, but someone is like, I want to have those 5 years in just 3 days.
In 5 days.
Yeah, which is so crazy.
Right.
So I feel like if you're able to just go through the steps, it becomes very easy for you to create a better and a greater version of yourself. Yeah.
Sean, sorry? You want to say something, Ian? One sec. Sean, you talk to people about money. Money has been one of the things that has come up. Financial constraints, financial burdens is one of the things that a lot of men struggle with. I want you to prepare something around that. And what's your main contribution to helping men be better? First of all, handling the pressure and so on, but also be better stewards, as you said, of financial resources. Prepare that for a sec. Ian, we're coming to you in one moment, but allow me to recognize the people that are watching us online. Priska says, shout out to David. And if you're wondering which Priska it is, it's Priska 7284, whoever that is. Sean Wangai says, shout out to Brian Nyambego. Rhoda Nyamai says, Salimia Muli. All right, Muli Salimika. Somebody called Purity Ligami is shouting out Wazi again. Fortunator says, shout out to Mukua. Somebody says here, Little New 520 says, nice conversation. A man is just a human being with an XY chromosome. All these other meanings are unnecessary. Shout out to Wazi Maina, one of the very knowledgeable women that this person, Little New, knows. Sean Wangai again shouts out. Have you Listen, I am Mimo says, a man is his character, his beliefs, what he stands for, and his boundaries. Ian, I hope you don't forget your point. And to some extent, this generally applies to everyone, but a man cannot be idealized by what he has or what he doesn't have. This is I am Mimo on YouTube. Somebody else says, Ikua Njuguna says, why do you lock options to just for? Interesting question. Tell us what you think, Ikua. And then, goodness, these you guys have paid people for shout-outs. Peter Musembi from Kitui Mutomo, but currently in Narok Town, says that many men appear to be living their best lives, but they're actually struggling. They're expected to maintain a certain lifestyle, which can be overwhelming. And this guy, Peter, believes that 60% of men experience mental health issues because of pressures to meet expectations in this competitive world. And he suggests that if men could open up, speak freely, and live authentically without pretending, then the world might better understand their struggles. Interesting. Thank you, Peter, for that. Frederick from Naivasha watching the show. Thank you, Frederick, for watching. You say the conversation is very crucial, and you say that men are losing masculinity in the name of pleasing the woman and the community at large. Interesting. And Proverbs 27:17, you said, men should help their fellow men, iron sharpens iron, and men have become their own enemy. Interesting. Interesting. This is Frederick Namachanja joining us from Naivasha. Thank you, Frederick. Mary Dominic says that Vladimir Zelensky, prezo Ukraine, is my I think she really likes the guy. So a man is a carrier of blessing, a man is a carrier of seed, a man is a prophet, a man is a builder of altars, a man is a crafter, a man. This is Mary Dominic. Thank you, Mary Dominic, somewhat poetic, mystic. Haji Fadili, you say a man is is somebody who has patience when he has nothing and whose attitude is good when he has everything. Interesting, right? Gems right here, gems right here. This is Bonnie or Reinhard says, the 3 A's, Trinity, to describe a real man, a provider, a protector, and a leader. Thank you, Reinhard. Dirty Hands, somebody called Dirty Hands says, words may not fully define men, action does, and that's why we're mentioning the kind of President Obama, the guys who said Obama. And I would like to say Kina Kipchoge and the rest. We don't need to have followers to be men. Being real is real enough, making my parents happy, putting food on the table. This is Dirty Hands. I don't know how you could put food on the table with dirty hands, but listen, thank you for that. Somebody else here, somebody from Meru says, Adams Karanja is watching. Ian, I know I'm coming to you, I promise you. Bodmas, Bodmas says, when we empower daughters and ignore sons, we create inspired girls who are supposed to follow expired boys. Bodmas is dropping the and he says, #ailing man. I'm going to say this again, Bodmas. When we empower daughters and ignore sons, we create inspired girls who are expected to follow expired boys. Goodness. All right. Mutambuki Peter is asking, why do men die early regardless of how poor or rich they are? Of course, Justice Kimwele, I really need to... Oh, goodness, I know this man. Yeah. Justice Kimwele Malombe. He's your father. Yeah. Excellent. Mr. Malombe. Kunyombili. A man is a leader, a protector, and most importantly, a responsible person with vision. Thank you for sharing that from a point of view of a man who's been lauded in this very stage. Thank you, Mr. Malombe, and I hope you're proud of your daughter. Dr. Lawrence Mukolwe says, he's actually bigging you guys up. He says, the people in the studio are addressing the boy-child depression with depth and sensitivity. So congratulations for that. It's refreshing to see such an important issue being openly discussed with facts, empathy, and actionable insights. Thank you, Dr. Mukolwe. And he's really impressed with this episode. He's watching us from Buruburu Estate. And of course, Dr. Lawrence Mukolwe didn't hesitate to tell us he is Dr. Lawrence Mukolwe, HSC, OSTJ. You know, a man is his credentials or his accolades. A real man is able to manage his life. That is Eagle. Esther is saying, goodness, Esther is just appreciating the conversation. And someone says, the role model guy is making sense. I believe that was you, John, or everybody else. That is Spencer. Goodness, there's a lot of people here. Allow me just to mention names. Dr. Timothy Cheboiwo, thank you so much. Shout out to Joshua. Umetuma message nyumbani. Yeah. It says, wanaume wako na tabu mingi sana. Beautiful conversation. This is Dr. Timothy Cheboiwo. Who's this? Frank, watching from Luandanyi Ward in Bungoma County, says you're really grateful. He says he's getting something from this conversation from you guys. So thank you very much for that. And he says he thinks a man is all about responsibility, kuchukua jukumu, integrity, kuaminika, and provide a protector, kutoa msaada na kulinda. This is Marani Franklin. Cyprian Chelotti. Allow me to just take the last two, Ian. Cyprian Chelotti from Kitengela says a man should be able to show up, should have respect and self-ownership. Edu from Kairi in Thika, you say the system is a pressure to men for centuries. The system is a pressure to men for centuries. Itabidi tuzoe. Itabidi tuzoe. Sawa. On that point, Ian, what was yours?
I will shape my point from the point of view of John. John, yes. Yeah. So I'll say that, in fact, when you are asking these guys who are their role models, I'd taken this mic from that far end, yes, waiting for you to ask me who are my three role models. Let me ask you,
Ian, who are your role models and why?
Number one, I am myself.
Interesting.
I am my role model.
Like what you were saying?
No. The second one, of course, I'm in the realm of politics, Barack Obama. And then I have this guy called Edwin Sifuna.
Edwin Sifuna. All
so right. The reason to why I start by saying that I'm my first role model is the same reason this guy was saying that. Of course, you will look up to those guys and then you you will have the expectations of which you can't be in the very same situations those guys were in when they were riding up to the peak of the mountains. Number one, if I give an example, for example, if I am a politician and then I want to be a president one day, one time, and then maybe my mentor is Uhuru Kenyatta, must I really take uji and chai? You see? If my mentor is Sankara, you know Sankara?
Yes, Thomas Sankara.
Exactly. So when I will watch his tapes, it will come to a point and I discover that he once dared, and in the process of daring, he died. So I'll tell myself that one day, Sankara, yes, is my mentor. One day I will reach to a point where I have dared and I will die. You see? That's why I will say that you are your mentor. When you ask what are the 3 definitions of a man, the last definition I gave is that a man is that person who can dream or who can live parallel to the expectations of the society.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Ian. Money. Why did you choose that niche? And what is it that you can tell men that can help men to look after their money in a way that is able to promote the rest of the things we talked about, their identity, how they're perceived and handling expectations. Speaking of expectations, Joshua, somebody here who I strongly believe is your girlfriend. Someone called Joy Kingore or something. I believe she's bigging you up. Say shout out to you. Please, money.
Absolutely.
You guys have rigged this thing. You've rigged this thing. Muli, I don't know what you've done. Please, money.
Absolutely. Yeah, so for context, I am a custodian and steward of capital by profession.
What is that in English?
In English, in English it means I work in an investment fund. So as stewards of that capital, we then deploy that into early stage businesses that are in tech, right? So we invest in tech businesses across the African continent.
Right.
And a large part of that is figuring out who's building what, who has what vision, and can we align our capital to enable that, right? And so I've always had a fascination for money and just its multiplicative nature.
Right.
You plant a seed here, it grows into something else and something else and something else. My dad is a farmer, so I think there's something to do with that.
Seed and harvest.
Seed and harvest, and it's also a very biblical principle.
It is.
That of the seed, right? And so I've always had that fascination since I was a child, and I always knew I'd get into entrepreneurship and finance and investments. And I think what I would speak to that in relation to the conversation right now, which, and someone said here that, you know, the definition of a man is a carrier of seed. Literally, figuratively, but there's something in us which is destined for planting, sowing, and multiplication. And I do believe that, you know, when God created us in his image, one of God's first acts was to create. And the act of creation is one of multiplication. And so building wealth and creating value in society is something that's deeply intrinsic to a man. So I'd start off there with that foundation, that the reason why a lot of men feel that financial pressure, that need to provide, that need to, and not just the need to, but the grace to. We have the grace to do it, right? It's because we're made in the image of someone who creates and who multiplies and who provides, right? And so back to us as young men, I think one of the most important shifts that I had in my mindset towards money was, number one, stopping to try. I stopped trying to look rich and actually worked towards being rich, right? There's a huge difference. And it's something that my parents really tried to try and teach me, right? Which was stop rushing to look wealthy, but, you know, can you set up the systems to make sure that you actually are? And I think that a lot of men are fundamentally upset with themselves and in a state of depression because they don't look wealthy and they're not wealthy. but also some are looking wealthy but are not wealthy. You know, so there's that disconnect there where, you know, you talk to your M-Pesa is telling you something different, but your friends are bigging you up. Hey, my
Yes.
guy, hey, you
Big
look
money.
fresh, hey.
Yes.
You're performing. And I think as men, when we start to become performers and less of actual doers, and we're not actually it, our psychologists can confirm that you get this crazy dissonance between who people think you are and who you actually are. So back to money, when we actually start focusing on building the systems that actually ensure that you do have that money in your pocket, you don't just look like you have it.
You actually have it.
And I think there's a piece that comes with that, when now you're able to sit down and say, you know what, I have worked hard towards curating a skill set that can gather for me capital. I've curated a business, or I've set up a structure that is bringing something into my pocket.
What does that do to a man's psyche, a man's heart and mind, when you're able to create this?
It's the best thing ever. Because now you are confident in your ability to fulfill that aspect of manhood, right? So back to those people who are saying you're your own role model. You are your own role model in that sense because you've proved to yourself that you can do it.
Interesting.
So you're no longer in a state of despair, feeling like I cannot be a provider, but you've given yourself evidence. And I think men, and a lot of men here can concur, that we are so evidence-driven that if our ambition and the evidence of it are not matching up, there's depression.
Right.
So when it comes to money, I'd say build evidence that shows that you can be a good steward. Start small, build something, build a skill set that's gathering that capital. And when you build that evidence of, I have 10 shillings here, 10 shillings, it became 100 shillings, it became 1,000, it became 100,000. That's how you build your confidence with finance.
All right. Now, guys, quick one before I say what I wanted to say. You're doing something called a men's conference.
Yeah.
Tell us briefly about it. Where is it? When is it? Why are you doing it?
So we were seated, like the four of us and a couple of members in our team, and we were shocked. Like, the girls that are usually around us have functions happening like every week. No matter they have this, they have that, they have this, they have that. Then we asked ourselves, is it that we don't know the right people, or are we in the wrong circles, that there's nothing that seems to be happening for men? And, you know, we've been passionate about this ministry for men, and we said, why not try it out ourselves? So we decided, like, okay. So we chose a date, which is the 21st to the 23rd at Lukenya Getaway. And why we chose that date is because tomorrow, actually, which is the 19th, is Men's International Day.
Exactly, International Men's Day, yes.
Yeah. So we chose the day after Men's International Day to have a day where, to have a weekend where we bring men together to discuss issues that face us men. So what we've done is we have 6 key issues. We have faith, finances, family and relationships, identity and purpose, health, and vices. So we've picked men within our circles and outer circles that we believe could speak well on those topics and share their downfalls as well as their strengths.
Okay.
Over the weekend, and
Excellent.
also a weekend of fun. So we have.
Is there a cost to it?
Yes, there's a cost to it. Right now, I think the ticket is 20,000. That covers, of course, your food and your accommodation. Yeah.
Do you have an offering for people whose M-Pesas are talking to them in a threatening manner?
Yeah, I think we can talk to someone. I think
maybe I'm advocating for them.
Yeah.
It sounds like a really great thing.
Yeah.
For the people that will be able to come, brilliant.
Yeah.
If you can, prepare something that the rest of the people who may not be able to show up for whatever reason, prepare something for them as well, a takeaway, and God will bless you. You'll go to heaven. Good people, I'm made to understand that we were having such a deep conversation that we actually were not looking at the time.
Yeah.
However, we have a little bit of time, literally just a small slice, okay? And I want to use this time to do one thing. And I don't want us to give explanations. I want us to just name it, okay? Just name it. I want to go around the room. If you were to heal or to fix or to remedy or to repair one thing that would have the most impact or not just your masculinity, but for the masculinity of the people around you, for men. One thing, that thing that in Akuuma, you know this thing. Ms. Malombe, I know you have something. So we'll come to you. Just grab a mic, get ready. In fact, we'll start with you. I want us to go around the room. Say one thing that you hope and pray that the men out there, the men in this room, the women in our lives will help us to achieve. And if that thing is fixed, we're good. Or we're heading in the right direction. Let's start with you.
Before the answer.
Yes, please.
What if we gave out 2 tickets on the show?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You want to give 2 tickets?
Yeah, we've talked to the team. I think the team.
that was a quick conversation.
Yeah.
I just saw eyeballs.
Telepathic.
Yeah.
All right. What is the criteria?
You decide.
I decide.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll come to that in a sec. Let's talk to that. What's the one thing? Just mention it. What is that one thing that you wish would be healed or fixed?
Silence. I would say let's break silence. We need men to start talking, have those conversations.
Thank you. In a nutshell. Ian, and then we'll come round. Ian?
Modeling. Beyond role model first.
Excellent.
Before you look up to the.
Excellent. Thank you. Joshua?
Empowerment. Economic empowerment. Yeah.
Talk to this guy. And others like him.
Because when men are empowered, we'll get healthy families and healthy communities.
All right. Quick as you can, John, one thing, just mention it, please.
Meaning.
Sorry?
Meaning. If, number one, whatever your life is does not define who you are.
Okay.
And masculinity has meaning. Find the meaning to your masculinity.
You're unique.
Yes.
Thank you. Quick one, just mention it quick as you can. We don't have a lot of time.
Confidence.
Confidence. Yeah. Okay, Christine? And there's shout outs for you here, by the way. Christine?
The identity crisis. Yeah, so if we're able to catch up the expectations from our traditional way of perceiving men with the modern man and what is expected of them, I think we are able to solve quite half of the problem.
Okay, Muli?
I would say mindset is everything. So your perception, how you see things, is it life happening to you or are you the one in control of things? So I think you shift that, a lot of things will change.
All right. Brian?
I would say same thing, mindset, because with mindset comes this quote that I usually tell people that if you can see it in your mind, you can have it on your hands, but if you only have the courage to speak it out, and that now in the whole of it brings fulfillment in life.
All right. Tupac?
I think the basics. I think it boils down to understanding the basics, and even when I had this conversation happen, the one thing that kept on coming to my head is what a car was created to do has always been there, is to move.
Okay.
A lot of things has changed, but the basics haven't changed.
Okay.
And that's the same with masculinity.
Okay.
It's not changed. The basics are the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I'd say vulnerability.
Being
able to be vulnerable with yourself and with those closest to you.
All right, last but not least.
I'd say discipline. We need more disciplined and intentional men.
All right. Thank you. We have 2 tickets. Oh, we didn't hear from you. I'm so sorry. Wazi. Hiya, Wazi, let's close with you, please.
Briefly, I would just say, how about we launch mentorship programs, and in the spirit of elevating and empowering our young people, there's one at the University of Nairobi called BAMBA. We can all make an initiative and join it.
BAMBA?
Yeah, BAMBA.
All right. Is it online?
It's an initiative that personnel with insightful knowledge on how to address mental wellness sat down and came up with. It addresses economic empowerment for men, mental wellness. There are a lot of psychiatrists on board. So if you have any challenges, you can reach out.
Okay.
And in this space, it's a safe space. So that's something we can do at our own capacity, because as my brother said, it's very difficult for those electives who have already made it to hold your hand.
Okay.
You do your thing, we meet at the top.
So BOMA, if somebody goes, is there a website or something?
Brotherhood of Men Association.
All right. Now, we have 2 tickets to give away to the upcoming men's conference at the Lukenya Getaway this weekend, from the 21st to the 23rd, I believe. 2 tickets, and here's the criteria. Here's how we're going to do it. Don't blame me. I'm just going to pick this at random because we didn't have time to prepare for who's going to do this. If you can tell me All right? The answer to this question. The first, I'm looking at my two screens here, the tablet and the YouTube feed. If you can answer the following question, all right? If you can answer the following question, you would be able to get a ticket to this, all right? The man that spoke, his name is Tupac. What is his other name? Tell me. We have 5 seconds. And I'm looking at these things. What is his other name? His name is Tupac. What is his other name? I couldn't come up with something better as a criteria. Let's figure this out. There are people that deserve this. If you deserve this, tell me what this man's other name is. His name is Tupac. What is his other name? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Someone here says Paul. Are you Paul? You know? but for trying here, someone says Giam.
Giam, that's crazy.
Is that remotely close to your name?
No.
All right. Sawa. So our director Nick, I know this is not a really good option, but there's somebody called Bonnie who's watching us. Bonnie Reinhard. Bonnie Reinhard is the closest thing. Someone said Shakur, but Bonnie Reinhard. Please reach. How can they reach you? Is there a website or something?
Yeah. They can just go to TikTok or Instagram and message the page called Just to Kick It is a Blessing.
Say it again.
Just to Kick It is a Blessing.
Just to Kick It is a blessing. If you send the first 2 people to send their comments or their requests to Just to Kick It is a blessing, you get a ticket to this event. 20,000 shilling worth ticket. 2 days of fun, learning, and depth at the Lukenya Getaway. It doesn't get any better than that. So that's your thing. If you go to Just to Kick It is a blessing, and the first 2 people to do that are able to get that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and for your insights and for your vulnerability. May God bless you. May God bless the men of this country. My name is Victor Muyakane. It's been an utmost honor to serve you this evening as your presenter. Good night and God bless you.